yeah, coming into the room, I thought that I just wanted to like write, like that was my sole focus. And then I got in here and I started designing pages, which was like crazy to me. And that's where I found my true passion. And then that's actually what I'm going to school for. I'm going to major in graphic design and magazine journalism. So like if I wouldn't have come into the room, honestly, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be like the weirdo, like under the bleachers. Like I would be so weird. But luckily I'm in here and all my friends are in here too. So it's awesome.
Well, I originally came to the room because in 7th grade, I watched this documentary, and it was called, what was it called? Planet in Peril. And it had Anderson Cooper, and it like went behind the scenes, and they went and saw like poachers and like the black market where they had illegal animals captured and things like that, and I thought it was really interesting. So then we got here and I decided to take journalism, and like I think it was my first or second day, I was like, I told Manful I was going to be editor-in-chief by my senior year. And so ever since then I made that my goal. And journalism class is very different from being on staff. So I didn't really know what I was getting myself into sophomore year, but it's probably impacted me the most because I've had to learn to step up and be a leader. I've always met my deadlines. It teaches you a lot about responsibility. So I've really grown as a person because, you know, even being a regular staffer, you're in charge of being responsible for your own stuff, and you have to meet deadline, and there's so much you have to do. And then adding an editor position on top of that is just, you have to keep track of so many different things. So I think, especially since I'm going to college for journalism at the moment, it's definitely gonna help and put me ahead of other people because I've learned all of that stuff. And the room's just a really great place. Like, you learn to get along with so many different people and what it's like to be in an actual working environment. Like, for the most part, everybody gets along, but if there is problems or something, like, just like in a working environment, you can't just say, all right, I'm out of here. You have to learn to work with the people, and you have to put your differences aside because everybody has the same goal of wanting to get the newspaper or the web or videos or whatever up there and make it look good. So even if there is problems, you got to get over them. And I think that's a really good life lesson.
I originally didn't plan on taking FHNtoday my sophomore year. A friend of mine convinced me to do it just because he thought it would be fun, so I just went into class with a good friend of mine. But I ended up just loving it. Like, my first few assignments were like the funnest times I had in high school so far. So once I joined staff my junior year, it just took off. I eventually became an editor, and I just loved being able to help the newer people become comfortable with the camera, going out and shooting like meetings, plays, sporting events, stuff like that, and just helping them become a good photographer and like helping us with newspaper yearbook stuff. So like this year, I think, was probably the funnest year out of my time on staff, just because there's so many new people, and we just all connected really well right off the start. So yeah, and then like in my time on staff, like I learned how to work with people, like and work together on deadlines and stuff like that, because like if we didn't meet a deadline, I think like we all knew what the outcome would be, so we really worked together hard on like newspaper and yearbook stuff. So I think that experience in itself really taught me how to become a better person and communicate well with others, and really influenced me to go to college and major in journalism, sports journalism, and hopefully do that as a career. So I just want to thank Manful and Phillips for believing in me, pushing me to become the best photographer I can be, and just really helping me with anything I needed. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Okay, one of my favorite things that we've done in 026 is Trick or Treat Street, and it was this night where for Halloween a bunch of kids, like especially teachers, kids, come up to school and they like walk around and they get candy, but it's at school. And for the past 2 years, Manful let me kind of like, we got a bunch of kids together, a bunch of staffers, and we put on a little play, which was really cool because it's like two of my favorite things. It's drama and newspaper, and I got to mash those two together, and we got to create these really cool plays. The first year we did like Dr. Seuss, and the second year we did superheroes, and it was lots of fun. And we got to like, we didn't really have like practices. I just like gave people lines, and everybody just like pulled together, and it was really awesome, and it was lots of fun. I don't know.
So we usually have a theme for our work nights, where we stay and we bring food and stuff. And sometimes there's themes like, it's a Mexican work night when you wear a sombrero and you bring Mexican food. Well, the first one we had was in like September, and the theme was America. And so everyone was just wearing like their normal like patriotic, like might have a baseball hat on or like a shirt with the American flag on it. So we're just like doing our work, and like Manful wasn't there, and like all of a sudden he walks in, and everyone like, we just like stopped and looked at him, and he's in like this like full-on Uncle Sam costume with like a hat on and everything, and like everyone like started clapping and stuff because we were so excited that he got so into it. And like he was taking pictures with us all night, and he was acting like Uncle Sam, and he wore it like the entire night from like 3 o'clock to 7, and he wore it during our meeting at the end with all the editors. It was really funny. It was awesome.
So we're co-managing editors of the yearbook this year, and okay, I've been on staff for 3 years. I joined my sophomore year, so almost 3 years, and I'm grateful for 026 because I probably wouldn't be pursuing graphic design, which is what I like to do, because I wouldn't know how to use like InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, any of that, and now I use it on a daily basis. And I'm going to Lindenwood, as you can see, which is super exciting. Super exciting. All right, Elizabeth.
Okay, so like Holly said, we're co-managing editors. This is my second year on staff. It's just really fun. My closest friends are in here. We all have a lot of fun together. We're on yearbook staff, so I love all the yearbook editors like Christina and Lauren and Kayla and Drake and Holly and Fiona.
Did you forget Kelsey?
Kelsey. So yeah, it's just a really good place. It's fun. I come here pretty much every hour, just work on stuff. My favorite memory is probably going to San Diego with everyone. It's a great time. Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna say goodbye to the paper. I've been working on it. I started the redesign in July, so it's been a long time coming that I've been with the North Star, and I'm really gonna miss like all the junior editors and the senior editors, and I'm gonna miss Sophie because being like co-EICs, like I don't know, we had to put up with each other for a long time, and it's fun, and now we're friends, and it's really awesome. And to thank Manful, I guess, for everything, because I wouldn't be where I was today without Manful, and I know that, and he probably knows it too. And I'm gonna miss all my friends because honestly, like my closest friends and the people that I want to stay friends with after we graduate, they're all in the room, and people outside of the room don't really understand it. They call us like a cult or whatever, and I guess we are, but I think of that as a good thing. But I'm really gonna miss everyone, Manful, my friends, everyone.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, first I have to thank Manful because he's kind of the coolest. I don't know what to say about Manful. Okay. I want to thank Sophie and Bree for being the other 2/3 of Bregoric, which is like our like team name. And everybody in the room is just always really nice. And like whenever I'm having a bad day, they're just like there to make me laugh or bring me treats, and that's fun. I don't know.
Well, in my time in the room, a lot of people have impacted me. So, I mean, there's Manful, who pushes you to do your hardest, and you know that when Manful uses his really quiet voice and he talks to you like this, then you're definitely like, you need to get back on track, which is probably the scariest point. Like, That happened to me once at the very beginning of this year, and it was like the scariest thing ever. And I was worried about it for like weeks because I wasn't sure what to do. And I think it was about like getting two centers on schedule, which was this was the first time we had ever tried to do that, is to do 2 centers at once so that we can be a month ahead of schedule. So I remember getting talked to about that, and that's one of the scariest moments in the world. But like a month later, everything was going really well, and Manful said, you know, that the talk was good because it really lit the fire under me, and I took off and I was doing all my stuff. So even when there's those kind of talks, or when, you know, you're not sure what you're supposed to be doing, Manful's always there, and he's always there to push you, and he's always there to make you reevaluate what you're going to do. Like towards the beginning of this year, we wanted to run a story, and we weren't sure. We really thought it was interesting, but Manful said it might not be timely. And so at that point, you know, you have to justify yourself. You have to really think about what you're going to do and have a reason for it, because even if Manful disagrees, he's going to back you up if you have justification. And so, I mean, Manful's what makes the room work well. He's the one that pushes everybody to make good decisions, and he's the one that gives responsibility to all the students. So, like, the most unique part about being in here is because it's student run, and it's thanks to Manful that he has so much trust in all of us, and he will always be there to back us up as long as we have justification for what we're doing and things like that. So even if we're doing a controversial topic, or even if we are covering something that people aren't necessarily comfortable with, that's a big thing, and we can still do that. And that's probably the reason why I love the room the most. Like, aside from all the people, aside from whatever, even if I feel like if I wasn't even so involved, I would stay in the room just for the reason that we have so much freedom and we have that kind of responsibility, because you can't really get that anywhere else. So that's probably the best feeling in the world.
This room has made such an impact in my life. During freshman year, or at the beginning of freshman year, I joined a bunch of clubs, but I never really found one that made me feel at home until I joined publication sophomore year, and I found a whole new family, excuse me. I found a whole new family that badmouths Fonz, a whole new family that fights a lot, a whole new family that just accepted you for who you were. They didn't care what you did or what you did, and they just accepted you. I guess that's the thing that I'm going to miss most about this room. Its ability to break down the stereotypes that we often find ourselves categorized in, and make us into this one big family. It's a place where a football captain becomes more than that. It's a place where a band nerd is free to listen to all the flute music she wants. It's a place where a Capri Sun loving, a One Direction obsessed girl found her place. Not to quote Taylor Swift, but yeah. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's helped me throughout the 3 years that I've been in this room. Most of all, I want to thank Manful and Phillips for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, for always being there to help ease the stress, I guess. And they always understood whenever you couldn't do something. Just thanks for everything.
I'm really going to miss 026 because it was just like that room where I could come down at the end of the day and wait for the parking lot to clear out and just like hang out with people. And I also learned a lot about like journalism and writing and just how to be a good person, because people are so nice down here. I don't know. I'm not going to cry.